What is up, Insaners? We are back with this week's team selection video, and this time it's for the semifinals. There are only 4 teams left in the tournament. We look at both the fixtures and talk about some standout players, a few differential options, and our preferred picks from each game. We'll end today's video with the best captain picks of the round. Lots to cover, guys, so make sure you watch the whole video till the end. If you like what you see, please give the video a like. You can also subscribe if you're new around here and like our content. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it then. We have 2 fixtures to target this week. The first one is Italy versus Spain. Italy did really well against Belgium and they controlled the game for large parts, but I think Belgium did get a few decent chances in the game. I think it was more because of the fact that Italy was playing an open game that Belgium was in it. Guys, Italy have had a brilliant tournament so far, and I feel not many will be surprised to see them go through against Spain and even win it. If you look at it, the whole team has clicked very well, guys. The defense has been quite strong for majority of the games and there have been quite a lot of goals as well. Spain, on the other hand, have not had the best of tournaments. They struggled in the group stages, guys, and have played 120-minute games in both their knockout rounds. Maybe that can also be a factor, we'll see. Spain's defensive numbers before the tournament were pretty good, but they have struggled to keep it tight, especially in the latter stages. They have improved on the offensive front, so I'm definitely a little more confident about their attack rather than the defense. I think this could be an open game, maybe a couple of goals as well. I think both defenses have had their problems in recent games, but their attack has been promising. I would still have a lot more confidence in the Italian defense as they were able to keep out the Belgium attack, barring that penalty goal. Coming to the second game, guys, and despite Denmark's heroic run, I think England are clear favourites. Having said that, Denmark definitely won't be pushovers. They have a strong defense, guys, and the likes of Damsgaard, Poulsen and even Dahlberg inspire a lot of confidence in attack, but I think England just has too much quality and depth in their squad. It's insane that they haven't conceded in the tournament so far, guys, and the clean sheet odds against the Danish team will be quite high. I don't think so this will be like the Ukraine game, but I still expect England to win by a couple of goals, even keeping a clean sheet in the process. Let's look at our team for the semi-final round now. We have 5 transfers to make, and I think that should be good enough to get a full squad of 15 players. Now, rather than going position-wise, we'll go day-wise and cover the entire team. That way, guys, we'll be able to cover some of the best picks along with some differentials too. Now, with regards to Italy versus Spain, I think a change that all of us will have to make is Spinazzola from Italy. He's definitely out and Emerson is expected to play instead. Now, the thing with Spinazzola was that because he was playing so advanced and so far forward, almost literally like a left winger, it helped Insigne to come inside and create or even shoot, like the way he did and scored against Belgium. I'm sure Emerson is not that attacking and he'll play more of a support role than bursting forward all the time. Guys, it also means Insigne might not come in that often and will stick outside and create more from there. Guys, in spite of that, I think Insigne and even Chiesa will start and both are really good options. Insigne will have Azpilicueta, who I'm sure won't like to face a pacey and a technically gifted winger. Other side would be Chiesa versus Alba, which again looks promising as Alba would like to play a lot further forward and that could give a lot of space to Chiesa to operate in. Now for this reason, guys, exactly this reason, I like both Chiesa and Insigne. Talking about Italian fullbacks, Emerson and Di Lorenzo, they're decent options, but they won't be as attacking as let's say someone like an Alba from Spain. You can still go for Di Lorenzo if you want to cover an Italian defender as he's pretty cheap. I've personally gone for Bonucci myself, simply because I can afford the nail defender after taking out Spinazzola. I think he has good aerial threat from set pieces too. Now to be honest, guys, I would not go heavy in terms of the Italian defense, especially if you already have the likes of Donnarumma in goal. I know not a lot has been said about the Italian midfielders, but there are a couple of really good differentials here. Barella and Verratti are 2 options to consider, especially if you want to do things a bit differently. Guys, Barella has had a wonderful tournament. He played really well against Belgium. He generally occupies a free role in the Italian setup and would try to look for spaces to exploit the Spain midfield and defense. Coming to his price, he's around the 7 million price range, so you're not really spending a lot of money, plus his ownership is just around 10%. Guys, Verratti on the other hand is more like a deep lying playmaker who will sit deep, he'll dictate play, and he'll try to find that perfect pass. Now that's one of the reasons that he has already got a couple of assists in the tournament. Coming to Italian forwards, I think Immobile is an easy switch if you have someone like a Lukaku in your team and have some money to invest. I still think Insigne and Chiesa are probably better options from the Italian team, but because of only 4 recognized forwards left in the game, he's someone you can have in case you're playing safe. Guys, if you already have him, it makes sense to keep him and play against Spain. Now when I talk about my top priorities here, the order of my top picks would be Insigne, Chiesa, Immobile third, and then maybe one of the defenders from Italy and Donnarumma. Talking about the Spain team, now we'll start with their defense. Guys, Simon in goal will be in a lot of your teams. Now I would not suggest you to bring him in this week. In case if you already have him and you can include him in one of your free 5 transfers, then definitely change him to Pickford. If money is an issue or you are a bit tight, then just keep him as is. In terms of defenders, guys, I think the option that stands out is Jordi Alba, who has been the best defender in terms of chance and big chance creation, along with successful crosses put in the opponent's half. Guys, there's so many point outlets with him in terms of assists, goals, and even clean sheets. I feel he's definitely worth the premium, and you should get him in your team if you can. Now, Pau Torres is more of a budget option. He would have been in your team more because he wanted to cover a Spanish defender and save some money in the process. I think he's also done pretty okay so far, getting in a couple of assists. Now, one of them could have been a goal, so he's doing pretty okay. I would definitely not take a hit for changing him to Alba, but if you have a free transfer available and not much to do, then it's definitely worth the upside. Guys, Laporte is also an option, but I think with Alba coming in a similar price range, he's surely a better pick. In terms of the Spain midfield, now there are a lot of options to go for. The standout ones are Ferran Torres and Sarabia, who is in the budget category. They both guys are most likely to start. Now the best thing here is that we will get an idea about the Spain lineup before the deadline. So make sure you check that out before making your transfers. The news about Sarabia from the Spain camp is positive for now. Now he doesn't have a muscle tear and he'll definitely travel to London. Let's hope he starts as he has been really good in attack, guys. He's also been of great value and is also the highest scoring Spanish midfielder. Now Ferran Torres is also a good option and probably more dangerous than Sarabia. We all know that he can put in good crosses, guys. He also cuts inside and shoots, and that gives him more goal threat as compared to Sarabia, who will almost always try to look for a pass then shoot. Depending on the lineup, you can also go for Olmo if Sarabia is not playing, as it's quite an easy switch to make. Guys, Olmo right now only has 2% ownership, but that could increase a lot more if he gets a start against Italy. So do keep an eye on him for sure. Coming to forwards, I definitely feel Morata is still the better option here, guys. He's more expensive than Moreno, but there's just more to what meets the eye here. I still don't understand why he was substituted so early in the game. Like, it was a huge risk taken by Luis Enrique. Now, it could have been to give him some rest, considering that he played 120 minutes against Croatia just a few days before. I believe he will start ahead of Moreno, who missed an insane amount of chances, guys, against Switzerland. I know Morata misses a lot of chances too, and he's not a clinical finisher, but he has the pace to run behind the Italy defense, create chances, and score himself. In terms of my Spanish picks, guys, my priority, and this is not necessarily for my team, that would be Torres, then Sarabia if he plays. If he doesn't, then Morata in second place, and then Jordi Alba. So Jordi Alba is probably the best option, guys, in terms of creativity here. A low clean sheet potential is enough to downgrade him in third spot here. Now let's check out the second game, England versus Denmark. We of course have gone for Pickford in goal, guys. The England defense is yet to concede, and a bit of it has been because of Pickford between the sticks. He's quite nailed in the team. I feel he can be erratic at times, as we've seen in the Premier League, but he's still the best goalkeeper option to go for this week. Coming to defenders, and guys, we'll cover both England and Denmark here. England is a heavy favourite to get a clean sheet in this game, and if you want, doubling or even tripling up is an option. The must-have picks here is Luke Shaw, guys, and one of the nailed centre-back options in John Stones or Harry Maguire. Shaw has had a great tournament so far. He's among the top 5 defenders for chances created. Guys, he's also joint top for big chances created along with Jordi Alba, having played a game less than the Spanish midfielder. He's also the highest scoring defender in the game thanks to those clean sheets. I'm sure he's nailed on the left side as well, so all good signs here, guys. The other two, as we mentioned, are John Stones and Harry Maguire. Now, Maguire is slightly cheaper than Stones. Both are pretty much nailed and have good aerial threat too. So if you're saving money, then go for Maguire, as he would probably provide a bit more value than Stones and is also a differential option here. I would not go for Walker or even Trippier, even if they are cheaper, as they have not done enough from an attacking point of view to convince a spot in my team. Now guys, coming to Denmark, Mela is the only option to even consider here. I think a lot of you would already have him in your team, and considering his price, I think it's worth holding on to him. In case you really want to make space for an English defender or someone like a Jordi Alba, guys, then it's worth taking him out. For midfielders, we've gone ahead with Sterling. Now England, before the last match, they didn't score a lot of goals, but whatever they got, guys, it was majorly because of Sterling. Like last week, he's going to be a very popular pick whether you have the wildcard or not. The thing is that you can go for Grealish, but then he's nowhere a guaranteed starter. There's also a huge element of risk involved here, especially if you're taking a hit to get this transfer in. Guys, that's the reason I would avoid Grealish in my team. In case if you are on a wild card, then probably that's the risk worth taking, but Sterling is the preferred option. There's also a case to be made for Sancho, who will be a great differential player to target this week, guys. With Saka injured and Grealish not really an accomplished right-sided player, I think Sancho could have a good game against Denmark, especially when you have the likes of Mela trying to run forward and leave some space behind. I know Sancho is a bit pricey, so if you're okay going against the crowd and you have the money, he could be one to watch out for. Now guys, Mason Mount is another player who came back in the squad and played the whole game against Ukraine. He will be on set pieces and he got an assist from one against Ukraine, a good mid-price option to go for in my opinion. It's tricky, but my top picks here would be Sterling, who's definitely a must-have, then Sancho, and the third will be Mason Mount. Now from a Denmark perspective, a lot of you would be having Højbjerg or Damsgaard as cheap enablers. Now I have Damsgaard and I'd probably just leave him on the bench. Højbjerg likes to be on the ball and he plays that assist pass. He has a few assists to his name, but this game guys, I think it'll be tough for him to dictate. Damsgaard on the other hand is more attacking, especially when he combines with Mela on the left, but again, it's not going to be easy against the English defense. To be honest guys, there are not a lot of other options in that price range, so you will have to make an upgrade and the closest alternative is Sarabia if he plays. So if you have other fires to put out, I think just leave the Danish midfielders on the bench. Now forwards guys are pretty clear. For England, it's Harry Kane, no second thoughts there. He will play the whole game against Denmark. He looked good against Ukraine and has kind of come in form at the right time. 3 goals in his last 2 games guys and it's looking pretty good. I think he's a must have and let's move on now. The Denmark option is Dolberg guys, who has been in great form. Now the real choice will be between him and Immobile, as most managers will go for Kane and Morata. Guys, it'll be really sad if Dolberg doesn't start this one and Poulsen comes in. Right now there are no leaks or comments in terms of who gets the start, so till the time you really have to take a risk or are doing some serious catch up guys, avoid a Denmark forward. So guys, this was our team along with some players you can pick, including some differentials. Let me know what kind of picks and players you're targeting in the comments below. Now let's look at some captaincy options for the semi-finals. We'll go day-wise starting with day 1. Italy versus Spain, it's looking good from an attacking perspective. Now coming to Italy, and I think this is where majority of us will go for captaincy on day 1. Insigne looked really good against Belgium, and I think he will be the most popular captain option to go from the Italian team. Guys, we'll get the lineups, so that should help, and if Chiesa starts, he's also a great captaincy option, especially if you want to go a bit differential. Immobile is another option, but to be honest, if I have one of Insigne or Chiesa in my team, I would definitely captain them. Also with Spinazzola injured and out for the tournament guys, I would definitely not look at any defenders, even from a differential perspective. Now if you want to go for Spain players, you can target a few attacking options based on who starts. In spite of the blank in the last game against Switzerland, I still think Morata is a good captaincy option. Ferran Torres also has equal footing in my opinion guys, and his superior goal threat just edges him ahead of Sarabia, assuming that the latter starts against Italy. I would not captain Alba for this one, as Italy have a pretty good attack and the clean sheet possibility is quite less. Yes, he can get an attacking return, but again that's a huge risk and I would definitely go with the Spanish attacker instead. In terms of all options from this game guys, my top 3 would be Insigne, Ferran Torres and probably Sarabia if he starts against Italy. Coming to day 2 captaincy options, and I think the England options clearly stand out. I don't think so any Denmark option guys, whether attack or defense, it looks better than the English players. Of course, the safest pick is Harry Kane against the Danish defense. If you don't want to follow the herd, Sterling could also be an interesting option. Guys, he's done pretty well in the tournament. Now, if you want to go a bit differential, then you can go for Sancho in attack or even Luke Shaw in defense, who could provide a lot of points considering that England are favourites to get a clean sheet in this game. So guys, these were our captain picks across the 2 days of the semi-finals. Who will be your captain pick for the semi-finals? Let me know in the comments below. That'll be all from my side guys. I hope you liked today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you found it useful. Next we'll be doing a deadline stream an hour before the semi-final deadline. So in case if you want any help regarding transfer moves, chip strategy or anything around captaincy, remember to join us for the semi-final deadline stream. Guys, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. We tried to do the team selection a little more in depth and in a slightly different format. You can also consider subscribing to our channel. I know the Euro 2020 is about to end, but we are not going anywhere guys. We'll be starting with FPL content from this week, so make sure you check that out. All the very best for the semifinals guys. I hope you have a great week and I'll see you in Saners next time.